All right, cyber risk qualification. What we're talking about here is the ability to understand the risk and put some parameters around it that allow us then to define what we need to do to protect it, right? So we're just trying to figure out the problem. And that's what CRQ is really about. It's the process of assigning a dollar value to each cyber threat scenario. And I want to go beyond that, not just a dollar value, but an impact value. How hard is it going to take to recover that data? Our lives are at stake. Is the data itself, once touched, still evidence, right? So there's a lot of other aspects of it than just the typical CRQ formula, right? Because we're talking about public safety. We're also talking about other things that are also, and we want to make sure that we're doing this in an efficient way. The damage, the potential damage is covered because we are planning for it. We have the methodologies in place to limit the overall effect on us. And that comes down to budget, right? It comes down to cost. How much can we spend today to make sure it doesn't happen tomorrow? Go ahead.
But budget, and this is something that I preach. Some of you have met me. I spent a long time doing work in Washington, D.C. One of the things that I always try to explain to people is that budgets aren't about dollars. Budgets are about priorities. So when we start budgeting for cyber risk quantification, for cyber insurance, for any of those, what we're saying is how important is it if things go wrong?
Yeah, and we're really talking about all of the eventualities, right? So it really is important that we understand that risk. And that's why it's necessary, right? Because we really want to figure out exactly how bad is the risk to this particular organization, to ourselves, to our functionality. But it also goes beyond just, are we down? It goes into, have we lost the respect? Have we been blackmailed? There are other aspects when we talk about double and triple extortion, other pieces. So really what we want to do is make sure that we're bridging the gap between these risks. We're understanding them in a way that helps us define our strategy going forward. And therefore, whether or not we need insurance, whether or not we need a plan, whether or not we need the things we really need, and certainly another way to argue for their importance.
And at the bottom of the slide, it does show a cyber tip. Focus on the cyber threats that pose the greatest damage potential to the most important data. Things go down, that's okay. What goes down is a lot more important than that things go down. Their computers or their radio systems or their whatever. Technology fails. We've all had a car breakdown. The question is, what's the greatest damage potential? What if you lost that computerized system would cause you the most angst, would cause you the most problem with whether it's delivering services. We've seen cases where evidence was tampered with. All of these are great damage potential. So focus on those first. Then you can sort of widen out and be sure to document everything that you do to change it, to bring it easily to the future. If you need to redo it, you should be able to rebuild it.
And then writing it down creates the plan.